Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And an alley to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Partner, is that what you call a quick hitter? That was actually a bolt of lightning, wasn't it? Right out of the gate.
And, of course, on the heels of him winning AFC Offensive Player of the Week 1 week ago.
You ready? Hey! Mike 7!
Mike 51! Mike 51! Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen!
Ready?
Now this time Locke will throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Now a give, right side McCaffrey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Check, crunch, look at me. Go.
From the 40 now on second down. Locke. He's going to sling this deep downfield. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. Philip Lindsay, the intended target.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run for the first time with Justice Hill. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of 2 there. Second down. On 2nd and 12, Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Charles, I don't know what's going on in that defensive team meeting room, but they better keep it rolling. 3 picks last week, 2 here now in the first quarter.
Everyone talks about creating turnovers and getting takeaways, but until it gets put into action, it's just talk. And right now, it's in action and in a big way. Now they've got the receivers wondering if they have to turn around and play more defense instead of running routes trying to take the ball downfield.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Let's go, let's
Go on, go on.
check.
Now.
Lock to throw on 2nd down. This is the tight end Fant. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Choose the right. Watch the pass.
Stand.
Check 15.
Look, squeeze.
Throwing on 1st down is Locke. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run. It's Lindsey. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Switch.
Go.
Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. Completes it to Aguilar. And I think the ball's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, then maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry, and now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 35-yard line.
Tighten up.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now a run with McCaffrey. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, here's Hill. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Justice Hill, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board first here tonight. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his 2nd extra point here in the first half. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
All right, work with me, partner. This is a classic understatement. Their execution has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football? We're not seeing it right now.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, it's Hill. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Letting one go deep for the end zone. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Willie Snead, his 2nd touchdown on the season as the Ravens push further out in front. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his 2nd extra point here in the first half. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken very short.
Let's go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double move.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Matt Judon able to record his 5th sack of the season. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Now they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to look deep down the field. It's caught inside the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson, eluding the pressure right. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Throwing on 3rd and long. Jackson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out in the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Here I come
From the 31, Jackson steps away to his left. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. McCaffrey following the penalty. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Christian McCaffrey with touchdown number 7 on the year. As the Ravens push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Tim Williams showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing his lock on third down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off right around the 43. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. A handoff, McCaffrey running right. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Now on 2nd and 13. Jackson. Snead's got it. The reception good for 7. It's third down. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. On the ground, McCaffrey. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run it.
And now here's another interception. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line.